Ladies and gentlemen, today we actually have a plan. So that's another thing is we're going for a little bit more of a specific laser focused idea. So today, the goal is to finish this goddamn build. I've been working here on this fucking world for way too long, ladies and gentlemen, for way too long. I've been working on this world for probably a good 3 months now, and I feel like every time I record, I say, oh, we're gonna build this house now, and not one time did I actually complete it. So today, ladies and gentlemen, yes, today, in this video, that is going to be completed. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, Jeremy, it's time to go and collect some stuff. No, ladies and gentlemen, we've been prepared for this for like, you know, back when I was in the other house. So it's been 2 months at least since we've been prepared for this. So we're ready to go now. We might need to go and collect wood, but other than that, we are ready to go. All right, so we're here. We are at the area where the roof begins. Now, I have built so many roofs. I don't fucking stop. So we're gonna get it done today. We are gonna get it done. So we're gonna take one whole stack of wood, and all that wood is being crafted into oak stairs. All of it. Another stack of wood, we're gonna take that, and then we're gonna craft that into planks, and then that's how we're gonna start. The way this is going to look, should I do a edge line of cobblestone? Do you know what? Let's just start it above where the area is. So if we do make the decision, we can still add it in without wanting to die. Now, usually, anytime I build these roofs, I am in creative. So that's gonna be a problem. Not a big problem, but a problem. All right, and we do need to be mindful here because when it comes to this section, I actually have something specific in mind, and I don't want to ruin that design. And I need to taper it in. So we'll be addressing that in a second. Right now, what I want to do is I want to get both sides up to that point first. So now you're starting to see kind of the idea here. Now, I have built a house like this before, but it was a different use case. This one is more of a castle plus watchtower type deal. And while I say castle, really the word is manor. And the tower here would be either referred to as a tower or a fief, F-I-E-F. I think that's how you spell that. And this would be the actual fortified area, and this is just there for looks. Well, it might have its own fortifications, which we'll do with probably a portcullis and stuff, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be using windows in this build. And we are going to need to light up this roof, which sucks. I do hate that part of it, but like I do not want creepers up here waiting to blow my shoes off while I'm coming out of the base. I want this place to be safe. So now the rooftop is complete. You can kind of see how it's tapering in now to the, oh, perfect, nice. So yeah, now you can see how it tapers in to the tower, which is exactly what I was going for, by the way. And I think what we'll do as well is there'll probably be access up here, just because. So I'm gonna put torches here, here, and here. I want it to be a little less than visible. So yeah, that should actually light up everything, because right now, you gotta keep in mind that it needs to be client light level 0 to spawn mobs. Now this is just me being extra cautious. So we can actually be very economical. I guess that's literally the best word to use. Very economical with deciding where this shit's going. Yeah, That seems a little problematic, but it's actually fine. I think that's gonna be pretty nice. Ooh. I'm thinking we do something a little nice. Okay, and we'll use a slab. We'll put lanterns there. Yeah, that looks a lot more inviting. And I think it has to be a spiral staircase. It's probably going to be a too wide, though. Now we get to make our portcullis. Portcullis. I'm all for a little bit more realism, even though technically there's not going to be a trigger or a weight for this. Fuck it. I just had to be sure. I had to be sure there was no chance. Listen, if you're gonna have them in your inventory, sometimes you gotta use them. That is my first god apple, ladies and gentlemen. That is my first. What does it give you? Any absorption IV resistance for 4 minutes and fire resistance for 4 minutes? That's actually pretty badass. But yeah, that is, if you've been watching my series for a little bit, that's literally the philosophy I want to have. The fact that I just used one of those for, you know, just getting down there, that's the way I want to be using them. Because, you know, there's a chance that the rain turns off while I'm doing that. And obviously I'm taking a risk by jumping off anyway. But hey, let's negate the whole risk by just saying, nah, fuck it. We're gonna just eat a god apple and then say fuck the risk. Alright, I never build these in survival. Or when I do, it's a little strange. I build these the same way each time, just sometimes some are shorter, some are bigger. I like this staircase though. Like the way these ones look. Because they're big enough to where you can actually get up it without falling down. They're not too big to where they're taking up a whole fuck ton of space. They're not difficult to build at all. Like, they're alright. You're not gonna bump your head. That's a main thing. You know, I know that while you guys are watching this, and every time there's any clip, either I'm gonna be using game audio, or in most cases I'm intending to be using music. It's actually quite nice to not have music all the time, because I've been listening to my playlist of, like, I have like 1,500 songs for my stream playlist. They're all non-copyright because they're just from video games and stuff. And, you know, it's kind of relaxing for a change just to listen to the game audio. And I, like, actually hear it because that's all I'm hearing right now. Now, eventually, like, that's gonna wear off because I've been playing this game so fucking long. That I'm probably gonna be listening to music again. But it's really, like, it's quite nice to just, for a change, listen to the game audio, and it's also really nice that I have the I have the availability to go ahead and listen to any type of music now, which is going to be really nice, because I'm going to be able to have my headphones in my headphones. I have like ear pods that I can go ahead and I can put them on transparent as well, so I can still hear my game. And I think that's going to be really nice to be able to listen to, you know, I could listen to any popular band or music genre that I'm not really allowed to listen to on YouTube. Mind you, for shorts, it's actually a little bit different, which is really nice, by the way. Because for shorts, you can, they have the shorts policy to where if you are, if it's under a minute, nothing happens. I'm imagining that's gonna change, and then at some point it's gonna be a fucking mad dash for me to delete every fucking short. Now we get to build our tower. Now, I've built so many of these, but we actually have to build it slightly different because we're building it in person, right? We're building it in survival. And I do want to do some machiculations. That is the outcrop of the castle design. which allows you to shoot people who are right up next to the tower with like a bow or something, or like throw a rock down from height. That's what these things are for. Quite useful. That's a thing that they used back in the medieval era, when they were using, you know, fucking still using swords and stuff. Before gunpowder started to be very prevalent. Mind you, even during like when the first muskets were being discovered, right, and gunpowder was being utilized, like these types of castles still had a use, but it was slowly becoming more obsolete. All right, boom, boom, boom. We do need some oak trapdoors. Placement on these don't matter. Oh shit, it's only 2 per. I thought it was 3. Well, let's go ahead and do this as well. Grab a little bit extra height on these. Well, do you know what? Let's get the variants as well. Sometimes you got to go through these things, just really understand it at a ground level, right? It's like, well, why am I even doing it to where it's like, you know, 2 of them are up and 1 of them's down, and that's just because like variance is really the spice. It looks really nice now. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to decide how it is that we are connecting this, right? Because we're working on diagonal, and if we're working on a diagonal, there's a few challenges with that. Staircase specifically, because you can't put a staircase on a diagonal. So like we could absolutely do this, right? Taper it in. But from the way this is built right now, is everything is shot off the wall, and that's gonna look a little different. Also, let's have a look at light level real quick. Client light, it's an 8. So we're chilling. 7 to 8. This is all gonna be good. And up here, this is a 6. So it's a little darker here on the corners there, but that's all right. That's still bright enough. I could put a lantern on top of these. I could put them behind it right there. For right now, we're going to leave it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a thing off. So we'll start off like that. And then we'll start off with machiculations, and we'll see where... we'll start off with the merlons and crenels, which are these. And we'll see if there's a spot to get the staircase in. Okay. So you can see how shapely it is, right? It's looking like, you know, it's just like, why is it so diagonal, right? We can fix that. So the way you fix that is you come out here and you do this, right? So now it starts to look like this. And then that kind of gives you a little bit of the corner back. And then where our staircase would go would be under this block here and under this block here. And then you have 2 other areas for some trapdoors. So now we have these big windows. We have the tower, like, you know, once it gets up there, right, we have it flare out. Lighting is good. Everything's well lit. And we can see in, which is nice. All right, it's done. The interior's not done, but I didn't say I was doing the fucking interior, so we're done. So now we have another thing to do. And man, I am spilling all the way through my iron. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect my farming system, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure is off right now. Holy shit, it is. Oh my Jesus Christ. So we are going to connect my farm, which is the thing you just saw there, this. We're going to connect it into this line of hoppers there. And then we're going to connect that in to our system and then let her fill up. All right, let's grab all of the oak that we have and all of the chests and literally make every single piece of oak into chests. So the plan is to turn this over here somewhere. Can I grab a block that I can use? Did I update this? Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, and all we need to do is do this. and that. And then bam, this is no longer an operational system. Okay, well, carrots should be loading up. Yep, there we go. So what's gonna happen, the way this is working now, is that this chest is gonna fill up, this hopper is gonna fill up, this hopper is going to stay empty until this chest is filled up, then it's gonna fill up, then this is going to fill up. That's the way it was supposed to work, but last time it got scuffed. So now it's actually connected in the system. And then everything that gets passed through will go into here. So there's my 2 hoppers that I lost. So yeah, now this is actually, even though this is now going to my system, there's that, it's actually gonna be a little bit more efficient because we have 3 double chests dedicated to carrots and 3 double chests dedicated to potatoes. Well, technically we still had the same, it filled up differently to where it would be a mix. Yeah, now it's not a problem. So now what we need to do is we need to get a bunch of composters and put it up there. Now, if you don't know why we do this, it's actually deadly simple. It reduces the amount of lag. Now, I'm not entirely sure if that's still a thing. However, if there's any chance of even a small smidgen, I've recently looked it up and it looked like it was still the same. If there's still like even a small smidge chance that it reduces any form of lag, it's useful. But ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna bring us to the end of today's stream. I'm not streaming anymore. But ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna bring us to the end of today's video. I hope everyone enjoyed, and until next time, have a good one. I'm gonna go AFK now, in the walls, like a rat.